Nikki Haley surprising absolutely no one, but also having a very mask-off moment in which she advocates for no anonymity online and to kill all pseudonymous accounts. Let's take a listen.
When I get into office, the first thing we have to do, social media accounts, social media companies, they have to show America their algorithms. Let us see why they're pushing what they're pushing. The second thing is every person on social media should be verified by their name. That's, first of all, it's a national security threat. When you do that, all of a sudden people have to stand by what they say, and it gets rid of the Russian bots, the Iranian bots, and the Chinese bots. And then you're going to get some civility when people know their name is next to what they say.
Accountability.
And they know their pastor and their family member is going to see it. It's going to help our kids, and it's going to help our country.
It's going to help our kids, and it's going to help our country to have no pseudonymity online. Pseudonymity online is one of the most important values that the internet ever promised us. It is really what led to anonymous. It led to so many of it led to so many like whistleblowers and other revelations that have come out. But at a baseline, like more important level, the ability to shitpost about the government is one of the most important ones that goes back to the founding fathers, from the Federalist Papers, from Thomas Paine to so much more. We demand and must have the right to anonymously criticize anyone. And I'm very much in favor of that. Others are like, oh, it's cowardly and all of that. Yeah, sometimes it is. That said, the principle of it itself is so important that it is almost directly intertwined with free speech. So to have somebody then who wants to be president of the United States say something which is dramatically really Orwellian when you think about it, and it goes against the way that the internet should work, is outrageous. Now, we're not the first people to say that now at this point, but it fits within a pattern and a worldview that she directly advocates for, which is the supremacy of the American government to the point where it triumphs individual liberty, but also where it triumphs, sovereignty of other nations. It fits neatly with the neocon worldview.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's an authoritarian instinct.
Yes, it is.
That's really what it is. I think Orwellian is also well said, but it's like, she argues that we need this in the interest of civility and decorum. We need to trample on like the basic rights of American citizens to dissent, just in the interest of like keeping things a little nicer, a little tidier. And that's the kind of rationalization that leads to just like overt police state type actions. So glad to see that even some of her Republican competitors, Saagar, were not having this one.
Right, yeah, it was nice. It was nice. That said, it was really just Vivek Ramaswamy who came out calling her out. Then Ron DeSantis and everybody decided to pile on.
Once they saw it was safe.
Exactly, once it became safe. And the thing is, though, is that Haley is now doubling down on this, victimhood mindset, and others, probably why she's against anonymity is because she saw like one tweet, this was Shoe on Head's joke, that actually criticized her. And here she is on the Ruthless podcast, where she says that Vivek only attacked her because she's a woman. Let's take a listen.
He comes out of the gate, he hits the female chair of the party, he hits the female anchor on the platform, and then he hits me. And I'm not saying anything.
I ain't saying, I'm just saying.
But he might have a girl problem. I'm just saying he might have a girl problem.
He might have a girl problem. So when she says the female wing of the party, she means the RNC chairwoman. So are you not supposed to criticize the RNC chairwoman because she's a woman? And then you're not also supposed to criticize two women in a row, even though you're running against one. And he didn't say anything sexist. I watched it all live.
Yeah.
It was a criticism of her ability to do the job. And this is
by the way, he clarified with us, he was talking about her and Ron DeSantis,
that's right,
too,
even
by
on
the
the
way.
heels.
Yeah.
The heels isn't even, it was gender neutral.
That's right.
In terms of its
applicability here.
So what are we doing here? I don't know. I mean, the Nikki thing for me is a real Rorschach test. It's like, you either find her more, and I'm talking more for people on the right, because it's all this pearl clutching over attacking Nikki Haley and other. And I'm like, you know what? For me, it's simple. It's like you either hate Nikki or you hate someone like Vivek. Now, is Vivek a little bit ambitious? Is he a little bit, try hard, I guess is the right word? Yeah, sure. That said, I'm going to take it every goddamn day over somebody like Nikki Haley.
I think you can leave space for people who don't like both of them.
Yeah, but you don't have to choose between. I'm saying as somebody who's like, I guess, somewhat involved in this, I'm just like, Nikki, to me, like, she represents the enemy in every possible like aspect of that word. Everything that in the party, even in America, really, that needs to go and to die a death. And so when I watched Vivek give it to her, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. And it was just interesting, though, to me to see how much of the pearl clutching that occurred around like, oh, we can't attack her. Or, oh, her daughter. Oh, as if her daughter is not an important point when we're talking about TikTok. It's like they want to use all of the things that they criticize the left for to then defend themselves whenever they're in the actual critic's chair. That's what bothers me.
Well, she can call him scum.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yeah.
But he can't raise an entirely legitimate point about potential hypocrisy, given that now she postures as all anti-TikTok, but her own daughter is on TikTok.
That's a good point.
That's not going after your daughter. That's making a point about you and whether you actually mean anything that you're saying. So that is beyond the pale, but her calling you scum, just complete ad hominem attack. I think that's very anti-Indian of her. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's right.
What I think.
That's a good point.
She's a self-hating Indian. That's what I think, Saagar, based on those comments.
There's something to that. Although I'm not gonna really poke the bear.
Yeah, on that one.
How us in the Indian community feel about her.
The other thing, though, is these people love their identity politics when it suits them, don't they?
When it's convenient.
When it's convenient. And she's always been one. Remember in her opening speech, it was all bio. It was all about her being like a trailblazer. She may not have used that word, but it was, very like gendered, her opening speech. And then she'd throw in a line of like, of course we're against identity politics, but also I'm a woman and look at my heels and I'm not kicking sideways or forwards or whatever the hell she said. And I mean, you also see it very much in the debate over Israel and suddenly the concern about anti-Semitism when, of course, there were a million like anti-Semitic incidents that they didn't care about before, but now when it comes to Israel, suddenly it's all of the safety language and all of the like identity language that had been used by the most annoying college kids on the left suddenly is being used here as well. And Nikki is chief among those in that category too. So yeah, when it suits them, they love to trot on identity politics just as much as the Democrats.
Yeah, and then, someone made a good point, which is as objectionable as this all should be, it's really only people who are online who should care. This is why Nikki Haley is a terrible actual nominee for the Republican Party. Because here's what she said just yesterday when she was asked about the retirement age. Let's take a listen.
Are you on board with cutting entitlements in a big and meaningful way?
Social Security goes bankrupt in 10 years. Medicare goes bankrupt in 8. Anyone that says they're not going to take on entitlement reform means they're going to go in and be president and leave the country bankrupt. You can't do that. Yes, we have to do entitlement reform, but that doesn't mean you touch anyone that's in the system. We should keep our promises. America should always keep her promises. But for everybody coming into the system, like my kids in their 20s, you change it. You say we're going to raise the retirement age to reflect life expectancy. We're no longer going to do cost of living increases. We're going to do increases based on inflation. We're going to limit the benefits on the wealthy. And we're going to expand Medicare Advantage plans so that we have more competition. We have to start looking at a common sense way to do it without hurting people, but our kids know they're not going to get it.
Yeah, so that is a better example of why she's so unelectable as opposed as to, despite all of the comments and other from her team, it's just she's the worst as far as it runs the gamut for Republican politicians. So anyway, I'm at very least glad to see that people are recognizing how awful it is with those anonymity comments. We could have told you that all, though, long before she opened her mouth.
I have an alternate theory about where the idea came from, because everything with Nikki Haley is calibrated for like, what is a room full of billionaire donors going to think? These CEOs, they're so fragile. They think it's disgraceful that some anonymous peon online can come on and criticize them. So I have no doubt when she workshopped that at some big dollar fundraiser, they all thought she was the greatest thing ever, is the most brilliant idea of all time. And then she trots it out to the American public to everyone's absolute horror at what she's legitimately suggesting.
I had not put that together, but you were absolutely right. It's like, just suck it up, and deal with the annoying comments. You have $1 billion. What do you care?
Or don't look at the comments.
Yeah, don't look at it.
You don't have to. Hey guys, if you like that video, go to breakingpoints.com, become a premium subscriber, and help us build the best independent media organization on the planet.
That's right. We're subscriber funded. We're building something new. We want to replace these failing mainstream media organizations.
So again, to subscribe, it's breakingpoints.com.